little live edition. And today, kind of got a lot to talk about, got a lot going on. We're playing a little bit of catch up, like I just said. We're going to talk about my Titans and how they just fell off the face of the earth and why and what's next for us. We're going to talk about the NFL playoff picture. Actually, I have my notes right here. But, Zion is on the docket. My Lakers. My honest opinions about Arthur Smith and the Falcons. Dummy of the year. Donkey of the year. Draymond Green. That's, of course, going to be something that we talk about. The NFL playoffs and some things that are going on in the NBA. If you like what you hear so far, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. If you want to hear more from Jory Sports Stories, me over at Jory Sports Stories. You can follow me over on Facebook. I think I'm live on Facebook as well, too. On Facebook at Jory Sports Stories. Twitter at Jory Stories. And on Instagram. And I'll spell that out towards the end of the broadcast. But let's get into it. So, the first thing, First thing I did want to talk about is my Tennessee Titans. And we're not that good of a team. I mean, we are a decent team when we play well, when everything is clicking. But one thing I am not going to do is sit on the internet and be delusional. We're not that good of a team, clearly because we're eliminated from the playoffs. Our offensive line has caused so much trouble and is not a one-year fix. And the fact that people are still screaming, fire Vrabel, even though yesterday I kind of get it. I kind of got it. Yesterday was absolutely atrocious. We had a 2-touchdown lead. We couldn't kick a field goal. The defense couldn't hold for nothing. And then we kept running the ball when they were stopping the run, which was redundant and was stupid. So, I don't know, maybe get away from Tim Kelly. Because Vrabel at this point, if it's not fixed by next year, he knows his seat might be hot. If I'm being completely honest. He knows. And it's like my defense don't play too shabby if they don't have to be on the field for like 6 to 10 minutes at a time. Hold on 1 second. But yeah, my defense is not that bad if we're not on the field for 3/4 of the game. That's usually how you lose games, keeping your defense on the field. But yeah, and then the whole drama with Tierre Tart and lying. Like Tierre, he's a very good player. He's a very talented player. He's a very impactful player, right? But there's a reason why you don't see more of Tierre Tart on the Titans. Well, one, he got released, and he wanted to paint it so that we know that he asked for the release. No, he didn't ask for that. They just cut him. So don't let him tell you that lie, because that's been proven that was a lie. Tierre Tart, no effort. Couldn't show up in shape. He's always been out of shape. His attitude. He wants his money, so he's just going to throw a piss poor attitude. You either want to be here or you don't. And he clearly didn't want to be there because his effort didn't show anything. You refused to get in shape. Vrabel said last year, and I remember this, we want to get faster. Tierre shows up, kind of out of shape. That's kind of like the opposite, right? I mean, but as far as Mike Vrabel coaching elsewhere, it's probably not going to happen. And the Patriot pom-pom waivers can keep dreaming, and if you really want them, take them. I mean, we're dealing with some of the same issues. Our offensive line is horrible. It's not a one-year fix. I try to keep telling Titans fans, like my former Titans fans, what's up, Kyle? that this is not a one-year fix. My offensive line with Andre Dillard was absolutely horrible. Now, there are some key pieces on their offensive line that need to stay. But that might be something that we need to reevaluate. Because offensive line literally ruined most of our games this year. If we're being completely honest. It was the offensive line and penalties. And one thing that I don't want to bring up, because I know it's still kind of touchy when it comes to Mr. Byard, but you notice the defense, Armani Hooker has filled in nicely for Kevin Byard. The defense played a little bit better minus Kevin Byard. He's taking a step back. I'm not trying to disrespect the man. I have all love for Kevin Byard. It actually was a trade that made me upset. But it is what it is. Our defense improved a little bit because of it. We had some fill-ins, but we have to get better at stopping the run. What happened yesterday was an absolute travesty, and it made me sick to my stomach. Absolutely sick. And then, and I'm going to call, I'm very objective, but Derrick Henry going on the tangent about his future, whatnot. He's just pouting because the team was eliminated from the playoffs. I promise you, it's just he really might be pondering his future, knowing that this is it. This might be his last year on his contract, but he's really just pouting because the Titans got eliminated from the playoffs, albeit earlier than usual. I'm a Titans fan. I can say stuff like that. But yeah, Vrabel won't be going anywhere. I don't think. He'll get at least a year or two to fix the offensive line. Get some more weapons. Strengthen the defense, apparently. Especially when it comes to the trenches. Now, once we get Jeffrey Simmons back, if we get him back this year, they might as well, because we're not playing for anything, they might as well just sit him down. But he's not the type of person that's going to go for that. So there's that. Once we get Jeffrey Simmons back, the run game thing should fall back in place. Pass rush should too. But as far as the T.R. Tart thing, let bygones be bygones. I hope he gets another opportunity. But with him not being able to stay on the field and not being able to stay in shape and not having an effort and acting the ass, I highly doubt it. But I wish the best for him. Like I said, Rand is going to give Mike one or two more years to fix it. And then not. Because at that point, it's going to be on both of them. Hold on. Arthur Smith. Next, since we're talking about coaches maybe on the hot seat and who I think needs to get rid of who? Arthur Smith. Even though Arthur Smith is safe, barring a epic collapse. What's up, Dante? What's up? But Arthur Smith is not a good head coach. You don't use your weapons. Why did you draft Kyle Pitts? He's a myth. Why did you draft him? And it's like, you're failing this team by sticking with Ritter and not using your weapons. And it's like, the defense, when was the last time we've been able to say that the Falcons had a top something defense at all? 2016. The offense is the problem, especially with somebody whose play is about as volatile as Desmond Ritter. He shows these flashes of being something worthwhile, but his flashes, more oftentimes are not, if we're being completely honest, is overshadowed by dumb, boneheaded mistakes and fumbling. And he will lose his job because of Desmond Ritter. Now, losing to the Panthers, he should have been left in Charlotte. It's not that far of a drive from Charlotte to Georgia. It's about an 8-hour drive from Charlotte, 6.5, 7 hours from Charlotte, North Carolina to Atlanta, Georgia. Well, I'm a little closer than that, but you get the point. They should have left him in Charlotte with the 40-cent tickets. They should have left him up there. Because how do you lose that? You only score once, and then Carolina's just field goal, field goal, field goal, and they beat you. They don't score once in the end zone, and they still beat you. Excuse me for stuttering. But, and then we're going to be completely honest. We're going to, hold on one second because it's acting a fool. We're going to be completely honest. You damn near just ruined your playoff chances right there with that. Talking about the Falcons. Damn near ruined it. Give it next week. They'll be eliminated. Because why? That defense hasn't been the same since Grady Jarrett. We'll be completely honest about that. I will be very upfront and frontal about that. It hasn't been the same without Grady Jarrett. Jesse Bates is arguably one of the best safeties in this league. And y'all are losing games. Because Desmond Ridder stinks. He don't know how to keep on to the ball. He makes the... Oh, yeah. They'll be eliminated by next week. I hate the Colts. I don't like their fans. And I don't like the Colts. But they will definitely beat them. I'm tired of the Falcons and their foolishness. I'm tired of it. And more into NFL talk, we're going to talk playoffs. And why am I talking playoffs when my team isn't in it? Well, because it's fun. Period. So, updates. My Titans, the Jets, Panthers, and Patriots are officially eliminated from playoff contention. Cowboys, Eagles, 49ers, Ravens have already... Did Miami clinch the Ravens, 49ers, Eagles, Cowboys have already clinched the playoff berth. The Chiefs will clinch the division because Denver lost. Just going through this real quick. Hold on. Oh, so it's a new page. Excuse me. Got my notes on my laptop. But, and then if my memory shows me correct, you have Miami, Baltimore, the Jaguars, who could lose the division to Houston. Even though I don't like J.J. Watt and I don't like y'all for doing all that extra ass trolling, but whatever. I would rather see Houston under DeMeco Ryans make the playoffs as a division winner than watch the overrated ass Jaguars. If I'm being completely honest, I'm being real. Maybe that's divisional hate, but I'm showing you the Texans some love here. They did beat us fair and square. I could go on a tangent about that right there. We're not. But I would rather see the Texans get a playoff spot off rip. I would rather see that than the Golden Pony Boys. And the Chiefs. They're leading their respective divisions. The Chiefs won't be going to the Super Bowl this year. That, I will tell you that confidently, that the Chiefs aren't going to the Super Bowl this year. Because it's like, the wide receiver room is too questionable. It's too trash. The offensive line can't block worth nothing. And now you got Travis Kelce hurt because, ladies and gentlemen, he's less of a tight end, a receiving tight end now, more of a blocking tight end because the offensive line can't block for nothing. So I don't think the Chiefs will make it all the way to the Super Bowl, but they will get a playoff spot 9 times out of 10 because of the division. And as it looks, Houston and Indianapolis look to hold look to hold on to a wild card spot, even though, like I just said like a minute ago, I'm thinking that Houston might overtake Jacksonville for the division, and they'll have a playoff game. But Indianapolis, on the other hand, they will still have a playoff spot, I believe. But then you still have Buffalo, maybe Denver, Cleveland, and Cincinnati, who are also fighting for wild card spots. The parity in the AFC is astonishing right now. Even though I'm not in it. I would love to be in it. I don't care. Anybody but the Ravens. But I'll take my digs later. And then you have the Saints switching over to the NFC, who have found themselves winning winnable football games and put themselves in a decent position for a wild card spot. They could also win the division. The Saints and the Bucks. The Falcons then cheated themselves out of it. I hope something dramatic happens. I hope some epic collapse, because that will make my heart melt a little bit. But I don't like the Colts. I definitely don't like Jacksonville, and I respect Houston. Period. You know that. You know this though. You know this. And then when you have the Falcons losing to the damn Panthers the way that they lost, puts the Saints in even a better position. Like, all the Falcons had to do was one thing. Beat the team that you were supposed to beat. Beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. They make it hard for themselves each and every week. Now, I don't even think they're in play for the division, and they're not going to the playoffs. Dummies. Just a bunch of dummies. And that's on Arthur Smith. And then, I will get on Dallas in a minute. Because I know I don't want to hear you're overreacting. No. Because Dallas, it's coming. It is coming. And y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. It is coming. That's a bad sign. I'm sorry. That's a bad sign. And I don't want to hear everybody was sick. I don't want to hear it. Because I'm going to be honest. This is not the second time. This is not the first time Dallas has gotten the ball ran down their throats this season. People are acting like, oh, they'll be back. Arizona, they got the ball ran down their throats. They lost. The 49ers. And now you have the Bills, who Josh Allen only completed 7 passes. And they won a game like that by 3 touchdowns. Micah didn't do jack squat, but on about 6 plays. Excuse me. And your boy, Mr. Prescott, I just don't like Dallas. I don't. They get too much attention, and they are what they are. But that is a bad sign when you lose a game like that. And I know people were sick. Everybody wasn't sick. Like I said, it's not an excuse. Because your players, you had starters and star players still playing, and they still got their butts kicked. You didn't rush the passer. You didn't stop nothing but a nosebleed. They couldn't stop a parked car at a stop sign. What else? What else? News around the league, of course, Brandon Staley and Tom Pelesco have been relieved of their duties. That means they were fired. And they should have fired Staley after 27-0. That was the fireable offense. Now, I don't know why you would think anybody would be able to turn that around. No. Brandon Staley been needed to go. And he put his own foot in his mouth when he said, "Well, we haven't gotten shellacked yet." And then the next week they turn around and get shellacked, and the next day he gets fired. Don't put your foot in your mouth. He's done that all season too. You ain't gotta ask me that question and da 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 da. Well, they're asking you these questions because you're clearly not doing your job very well. With the amount of talent that you have on your roster, I could do better than that. I'll figure something out. Like, you had the second highest paid defense, and you have the third worst. Make it make sense, and you're a defensive-minded head coach. Literally, make it make sense. And then this Chargers team, it's really not an attractive job considering that you're going to, because their cap space situation is so messed up. It's funny, which is why the GM got fired. And this is why the Chargers are probably going to have a very long road to hoe. I'm Southern. I say stuff like that. A long road to hoe. You know what I mean. They got some work cut out for them. Like, think about it. Justin Herbert is on the last year of his rookie contract. So, starting next year, you'll be paying him bread. You got Keenan Allen. You got Quentin Johnson. You got Joey Bosa. You got Khalil Mack. Some of these players that we've known to be Chargers for most of their careers will not be Chargers anymore. Because they need to clear cap space. Because they need to draft. Because they need to do these things. They're broke. Tom Pelesco, and I'm not putting this on Brandon Staley. Brandon Staley broke this team on the football field. Clearly because they got shellacked 63 to what? By the Raiders? Yeah. That's a different story. Because we'll talk about that pathetic-ass effort that they showed on the field in just a second. But Tom Pelesco has ruined the personnel department of this team. Like, you haven't been developing players. You've been keeping the same highest paid players who've been injured. You've been drafting the wrong guys repeatedly. So now you're in a mess where you don't have a lot of depth. And the depth that you have, that you do have, isn't that good. I've been there. I've definitely been there. And then you have a coach who coaches like he should be coaching a flag football team, quite literally. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. They needed to go. And as far as that effort is concerned on versus the Raiders, there was no effort. Where was the effort? Like, I know that was a great one-handed pick from Jack Jones. And Jack Jones is an Antonio Pierce person. You do know that. If you didn't, you might want to note that. Because if he could do that with a few more players, if he did that with Jack Jones and Jack Jones can turn into something, oh yeah, Antonio Pierce definitely deserves a shot for the Raiders job, if we're being completely honest. But this is not about that. This is about the pathetic-ass effort that I saw from the deadbolt batteries. But, anyway, yeah. They didn't even try. And then they kept showing them players, the cameras kept showing the players looking all sad and stuff. I wish you got mad on the field and actually tried or acted like you gave a damn. Y'all didn't just quit on the coach. You quit on each other. There was no effort on that field. Well, there was effort on the field for the Raiders. I mean, you had Devontae Adams over there just swinging his dreads, feeling himself. And I'm happy to see it for Devontae because they've been through some stuff over in Raiderland. I am happy to see it. But for the Chargers, on the Chargers' point of view, you got people over there dancing on the sidelines. They're not taking their foot off the throat, and you're not tightening up. And you're not... That's what I put in the group chat. Will you at least pinch the damn person, the Raiders? Pinch them. Make them say, ow. And you know how bad it was because the Raiders offense only put up 49. And I know how bad that's going to sound. They only put up 49. The last 2 to 3 touchdowns of that game were defensive touchdowns. That's effort. That is quite literally effort. That the Chargers decided they wanted to leave at home. Like, if I were the Spaniels, I'm like, you can gamble. You got plenty of money to gamble with because you're not riding back on the plane with us. You're done. I would have left his ass in Vegas or left him on a tarmac or left him at the stadium. They should have fired his ass after the first quarter. If you're being completely honest. But let me hop off the Brandon Staley soapbox. And then I told y'all about Tierra Tart lying and saying that he asked for a release to soften the blow of him getting cut. He didn't ask for that. They just cut him because he wasn't in shape. He's not buying in, and he's bitching about money. I don't need that right now. Oh, Bill Belichick probably won't be the head coach for the Patriots after this season. I could use a defensive coordinator. I know Kyle might be listening. He's like, huh? I could use a defensive coordinator. The teacher can come work for the student now. Just saying. But I do expect the Patriots to move on from Bill Belichick because this is a mess. Y'all have broke my Mac. They have broke my Mac Jones. Mac Jones is a broken human being. I mean, not like that, but his spirit as far as football is broke. Playing tic-tac-toe quarterback, and then you want to play musical quarterback, and then he's taking all the blame for everything that's not his fault. I mean, some of the decision-making is his fault. I will put him on that. I will hold him to that standard. Some of that crap is his fault. But the fact that who his coaches were, the fact that he has a dinosaur as a head coach, that's not his fault. Who makes some of the most questionable decisions, that is not his fault. Excuse me. Oh, now tonight in the Eagles Seahawks games. Excuse me, tonight in the Eagles Seahawks game, we will be having Matt Patricia call defensive plays. I thought he was still with the Patriots. But, all right. Matt Patricia will be calling defensive plays for the Eagles. Desai, who has been public enemy number one for most of my Philly fan friends, he's going to be in the box. Matt Patricia moves down to the field to call the plays to get a feel of the game. Because what more can you do? The Philadelphia Eagles defense has thoroughly collapsed. I will say that. Minus the pass rush. And they're not even as strong as they used to be. Can't stop nothing. And I'm not trying to gag and nag and brag or whatnot, but it is what it is. The Eagles defense has trouble stopping a nosebleed. At times. And their secondary, Darius Slay is hurt. Kevin Byard has taken a step back. He doesn't cover tight ends very well. If we're being completely honest, I'm being objective. I've seen it in Tennessee. And I bet when you have A.J. Brown saying the kind of stuff that he says, I bet y'all would wish y'all would give us our damn players back. I'll take them. Because Mike Vrabel ain't putting up with none of that crap. And you know it. A.J.'s problem, he talked too goddamn much, but that's neither here nor there. Oh, else Aaron Rodgers could return. Because the Jets are eliminated, they might as well just go ahead and say, we'll see you next year, buddy. And find somewhere else for Zach Wilson to go, because I am a Zach Wilson fan because he's turned into the lowest of the lowest hanging fruit. I know he is what he is, but he does have potential, and I think he can be a better quarterback when he's not around somebody who doesn't know what they're doing and somebody who doesn't know how to develop a quarterback, i.e. the Jets. This is why they went to go get an Aaron Rodgers. They don't know how to develop quarterbacks. Argue with your mama. Kadarius Toney, who is getting on my goddamn nerve. Well, all of his crying, talking about, oh, they took a great play away. Y'all know that he did that offsides penalty that my dog could have saw from 500 feet away. And he's delusional. And he refuses to accept the fact that he did commit a penalty that was egregious enough to be called. And it sealed his team's fate. It cost them the game. He has yet to live with that. Mr. Tony. And then he had another drop yesterday. Like, Kadarius Toney, he's not the most aware person in the world. It's, clearly, when it comes to self-awareness, is at zero. -0. Because now that they're calling all of these goddamn offsides, you got to make sure that you're in line. You're in line now, dummy. The first thing that you make sure that you do is that you're lined up correctly. And then you had the nerve to sit over there and pout when the ball didn't go to you first. You damn brat. Catch the ball and then it'll go to you first, you idiot. I can't stand people who are just not self-aware. I can't. Because he had another stupid drop yesterday. And he was pouting. Quit all of that. Go put in some work. Go put in some work. Go get 250 catches off the jug machine. Do something. Quit sitting on the goddamn sideline complaining and pouting. And then you got Mahomes over there cussing everybody out. Well, just cussing in the air because he's mad. He's disgusted. I've never seen Patrick Mahomes look like that. Because y'all keep damn dropping the balls. And it's not just Kadarius Toney. I'm talking about Sky Moore. I'm talking about MVS, the rest of them. Rashee Rice is turning into something. But you know why he hasn't been able to expedite that process? Because he's around a room full of bums. Next. As far as like the referees and Chiefs goes, $150,000 worth of fines for Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes for aggressively speaking out against the refs. I worded it as aggressively speaking out. I'm gonna also reword it as crying because that's exactly what the hell that was, and it was hilarious. We already talked about Arthur Smith. The defense and the Falcons, the defense without Grady Jarrett isn't the same. Clearly. The 49ers are the best team in football, not the damn Baltimore Ravens. We'll get into that in just a second. Just a second. Because Ron Rivera is also happened to be sitting on an everlasting hot seat until the end of the season. His seat is pretty much burned. DeMonte Casey gets suspended for the rest of the season. God damn. What did he... You'll get a reaction video about that in just a second. I just read it because it's coming across my phone. But, Ron Rivera, his seat is burnt. It's just going to wait until his season is over, and then it's just going to collapse. He's a lame duck. He's literally a lame duck coach. Yeah. He's a lame duck. There is nothing to do. No problem with that. He's about to be something that I dream of being. A fired football coach. They get money to not coach. They get money to not do a job. I want to live like that. But regardless, lives are affected. But we know what's happening. And then, I thought that the Packers could mess around and win a division, but Detroit decided they wanted to slam the door with how they're playing now, with Jared Goff kind of picking himself back up. The offense is picking himself back up. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson should be returning for the Lions very soon. So it seems. Now, excuse me for pulling my hair. Stop that. Hold on. Before we get into NBA stuff, because I've spent damn near 40 minutes talking about the football, I I heard something on a friend of mine's podcast who they were discussing about the 49ers and the Ravens. And here's my opinion on that whole thing. Look, Jordan, if you're listening, you can get upset at me all you want. All you want. And no, I'm not camera shy because I'm looking dead ass in the damn camera and not trembling. And I'm not doing any nervous tics. I am not camera shy. Not anymore. But I just had to clear the air on that. Camera shy my ass. I done came a long way. Not for nobody to just sit there and point some shit out. Excuse me. Who is better? The 49ers versus the Ravens. Here are my notes. Here are my opinions. And here are the things that you can refute them. But the way I'm looking at it, I'm right. So, I think I'm standing on the side of the 49ers is the best, most complete, most fundamentally sound team in the NFL, not just the NFC. Why? Hold on. They have the better weapons. Fundamental, even in the trenches. I trust whatever the 49ers got going on, especially with Trent Williams and the rest of that offensive line. I trust that 49ers offensive line more than I trust the Ravens. And this is not just me speaking from Raven hate. It's not. And I don't like the Purple Featherbrains. I don't like them. And they are a good team. But the 49ers are just better. They have the better weapons, trench-wise and skill player-wise. They have the better running backs, receivers, quarterback play. They do have the better quarterback play. People who want to be Lamar Jackson, who want to be the air that Lamar Jackson breathes, will kill you if you say that. But they have better quarterback play for the 49ers than they do for the Ravens. We're not doing this. And they have a hell of a lot better of a coaching job over at the 49ers than they do have the Ravens. I think our Harbaugh is overrated, and I think that the Ravens struggle to adjust. Which is why they're still choking away leads even now. Whatever. They've won single-handedly. Not a lot of close games, if we're being honest. They've been whooping people's tail ends. Like switch to butt. Belt to butt. Belt to butt. You saw what they did to the Cowboys. You saw what they did to the goddamn Eagles. You saw what they just did not too long ago. Even though Arizona kept it closer than I expected, but those are division opponents. Division opponents are always going to play you tougher than what you expect. Never forget that. Especially being Ravens, the AFC North always play each other very tough. Then, when they did lose, they were losing to good teams. Hold on, because I have my laptop right here ready. Because I'm going to pull this up. Because I want to know what I'm talking about right now. Give me just a second. The next 3 games for the Ravens, especially that 49ers game, that Dolphins game, whatnot. Okay. Let me pull up the Ravens schedule. Okay. Let me pull it up. It takes time to get your things together. That's from 2021. That's from 2022. Okay. All right. You lost to the Colts. You lost to the Steelers. You barely beat the Cardinals. Am I still on? I'm still on, right? Because StreamYard is acting, not StreamYard. Streamlabs is acting foolish. But you barely beat the Cardinals. You lost to the Browns. So it's not. And then if you compare that to the schedule of the 49ers, hold on. Y'all got me doing research because I really just, even though I thought I had this all together, but give me just a second. Give me just a second. What I'm trying to say is the Ravens have lost some games that they should have won. They've choked away some leads this year. The 49ers have been bludgeoning people. Like, okay, 45-29, 28-16, 42-19, 31-13, 34-3, 27-14. It's not even damn close. So what the Ravens are doing and what the 49ers are doing, and you can argue that the Ravens have a softer schedule. Yeah, they do, but they still lost to the goddamn Colts. And they lost with that softer schedule. And you have the 49ers playing pretty. Their last loss was in October. Yeah, was October 29th. It's December 18th. That's when they lost 31-17 to the Bengals. That was their last loss. And then they went on a bludgeoning spree. What I'm trying to say is I have more confidence in the Ravens. The 49ers as a whole because of how they're winning these games than I do the Ravens. Because the Ravens might get you a 2-touchdown lead and then they will do something else to just stall and choke a lead. They almost did it. There was a few times in that game last night that they could have did it. That's why if you follow me on social media, on Facebook, I'm like, if they don't score, I'm going to know something right now. Excuse me. But back to my notes. And as far as the 49ers, we know we had them 3-game stretches. That 3-game stretch where the 49ers did not play well at all. And Brock Purdy wasn't playing well. Debo was hurt. Trent was hurt. The defense wasn't playing well. And Shanahan makes Steve Wilks get up out the box and go and get on the field. Oh, yeah. The defense, has settled down and has gotten it back together. And how they're doing it. Not stepping on the gas for 3.5 quarters and then just sometimes stalling for another 2 quarters. They are the most complete team, not the Ravens. We already did our Titans talk. This is the earliest that this team has been eliminated from playoff contention under Vrabel. There is uncertainty with certain players. We'll reiterate it. Tannehill is gone. Tier Tart was released. Derek is throwing a fit because they got eliminated. You're my favorite player, Mr. Henry. I'm gonna need you not to do the pouting, to do all this pouting, contemplating, pondering the future thing. You're just pouting. You should have just. I wouldn't even talk to the media that day, but he's a star player, so I would give him his one pass. Offensive line has to be fixed either through the draft or some free agents. We do have some capital. We got about $89 million worth of cap space. We might be able to clear some. It's not a 1-year fix. And you impatient-ass Titans fans need to learn it. Secondary could use some more pieces. Not going to lie. And somebody's going to have to step up for Tier Tart. Firing Mike Vrabel is not the route you want to go right about now. That I can promise you. So let's chill out on that. Chill out. Basketball stuff. About 10 to 15 minutes. We're going to go through this quick. Joel Embiid is on a tear. Just wanted to mention that. Joel Embiid is on a tear. He scored 42 with a 53-point drubbing in the corner on the Hornets. I'm sorry. I cannot talk right now. But and he's been on pretty much like I said, I can't talk right now. Pretty much he's been on a tear. Now, this year, instead of crying about not the MVP last year, this is the year he's showing that he should be an MVP. Not damn last year. Bradley Beal is hurt again. He's getting on my nerve. I as a basketball fan and as a Laker fan, I would like to see what the Phoenix Suns could become. As a basketball fan, not as a Laker fan. I would like to see what the Phoenix Suns can become. But with Bradley Beal and being injured, which is we're in the first quarter of the season. Well, we're in the first half of the season, and I already got injury. You're out for this. You barely played in 2 weeks. It's disappointing. And the regret light should be on in Phoenix. The Golden State Warriors. Here's another thing that people have to... The Golden State Warriors, they were doing their historic run when I was in high school, right? Yeah, in the middle, early high school, yeah. 2015, about 2019, yeah. Because those are literally my 4 years in high school, 2015, 2019. That's when they did their big one, right? But the Golden State Warriors, they are not what they used to be. They are clearly on the last legs of their team, as a team, and they are not a contender. You could say it's too early in the season. I don't like what I see already. They're too small. Klay Thompson is less than a half of himself. Draymond has gone way over the edge, and you can't depend on him to stay on the court. And he's literally one of the things that makes the goddamn operation go. And you can't depend on him to stay on the court. Yes, after that, they messed around and won that last one, which was 2021? Yeah, they're done. That was their last one. That was the last dance. And Wiggins, for the most part, is a failure. Oh, and because I have Coach Dante in here, my dude, I just like to say that the Houston Rockets are being led by two hotheads, Dillon Brooks and Ime Udoka, and I love it. I love it. Because didn't Ime Udoka just get ejected? Did he get an ejection not too long ago? He was messing around with Braun, telling him to stop itching. I like the culture that they're trying to build in Houston. I do. They're trying to establish a culture, and this team is definitely tough to beat. Ask Milwaukee. They gave Milwaukee everything that they could handle. They beat my Lakers, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. I like hotheads. Hotheads, and I love it. I love it. The Houston Rockets, they needed a culture change. Clearly. And when you have players and a coach that are just that tough-minded, and I know Dillon Brooks he's embracing his menace. This is what I've been wanting Dillon Brooks to do since he started to mess with the Lakers. Embrace it. Don't stand on it. Embrace it. I love this Dillon Brooks. He don't care. Led by hotheads. They're establishing a culture. They're a tough team to beat. Give them about 2 to 3 years. Am I right about that assessment? Oh, so they shouldn't even got ejected at period. If we're being honest, if that's the truth, they shouldn't have got ejected. But when you have somebody like Ime and Dylan Brooks on the team, and I like what they're doing in Houston. Coming from a Laker fan, Ja Morant returns on Tuesday, but Memphis has already fell so hard behind. Don't need a whole bunch of teams to fall off, and don't need to go on an impossible tear. Now it could be, it could happen, cause the Pelicans aren't doing nothing worthwhile. I'm done watching Zion belly bounce when he tried to do a damn dunk. I've given up on Zion. We're going to talk about Zion in just a second. Actually, I'm not done with Zion. I haven't even turned his weight any way but loose because I'm tired of his ass. I'm tired. But Memphis is already done. They've pretty much fallen off. They'll need to go on an impossible tear. See? I told you. Since Dante he agrees with me. Give the Rockets 2 to 3 years. They have pieces. They got some tenacity. They're putting the culture in there. They're putting the ingredients together. They might need another piece or two, trying to work some magic out. But yeah. Ja Morant, Memphis, trash. Out the playoffs. They'll need a miracle for it to happen. Monty Williams, we'll talk about the Pistons because they are currently on a 20-something game. 22? Is it 22 or is it 23? We're going to say 23 because they're going to lose another game. But they're on a 22-23 game losing streak. Oh, my God. Excuse me. And Monty Williams could be one and done for the Pistons, even though they have multiple problems that just can't be eradicated by just switching the coach. They have too much of the same thing. The offense is elementary school. They don't play defense. Bro, let me tell y'all something. So I saw a screenshot of, like I said this on Hoop Dreams of Touchdown Queens. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they got too much of the same thing. The offense is elementary school. They don't play good defense all the time. Why is Jordan tagging me and stuff? He know I'm live. They get flat out outclassed, out physical. They're broken from the top to the bottom. Any left and right. They don't develop people. It's just a trash organization. And I'm 22 years old. The Pistons have not been good for a day in my life. Maybe a year or two. But about 20 years they've been trash. Am I lying? No. Like I said, they're currently in the midst of a nasty 22 game losing streak. And I know my 76ers would love, the 76ers would love for this team. Oh yeah, they don't draft well at all. That team is an organizational failure from top to bottom. They will forever be in basketball hell. I've given up on the Pistons. They like I saw somebody say on Twitter or something like that. They went from the bad boy Pistons to the no boy Pistons. Bad boys to no boys. Like what? So it was like, it is what it is. But Philadelphia 76er fans, look forward to one of your most infamous streaks being broken. Because I feel like they're going to do it. Hawks fans are turning on Trae Young. Oh, yeah. He's going to get fired. I'm pretty sure Monty Williams is going to be one and done. If they don't get him mid-season, after the season, he's done. There's that. Hawks fans, they are turning on Trae Young. his style of play, the whole Trae Young experience, and I live in Georgia, so I talk to a lot of Hawks fans. My dad is a Hawks fan. We've been like this since the beginning. He's always a Hawks person. I remember listening to 680 The Fan and whatnot when we had Joe Johnson, Jeff Teague, and company. When we really could have done something. When the Hawks really could have done something. Well, Monty finna take some fired coach money too. I would love to be a fired coach. Exactly. He took the money without really realizing what the absolute hell he was walking into. Exactly. But Hawks fans are turning on Trae Young. He's shooting 39%. His style of play is clearly not conducive to winning basketball games consistently. What is the Hawks' record? Does anybody want to tell me what the Hawks' record is? I'm pretty sure they're 10-14. That's enough. He could put up 35 points with ease, but facilitating? No. Playing defense to him is optional, and he does this dumb, boneheaded crap that when it works, everybody goes crazy, and when it don't, 9 times out of 10, it don't damn work. Everybody hate him. And like, if I'm the Hawks and I'm seeing this from Trae Young, and it's like, we're not getting nowhere with you here, bro. We built this team to try to make you the centerpiece, and it's not working. We're not getting anywhere with you. Atlanta might want to start looking for potential trade partners. But who's going to take that? Tell me with some sense. And don't nobody put in no goddamn comments the Lakers, because I will flip out. I do not need no Trae Young on my Lakers. At all. Oh, Milwaukee, the Bucks. Excuse me. Yeah, I've been talking for about an hour. Whatever. I go for more. Milwaukee has found a spot, kind of like the spot for Dame and Giannis to work together, and it can be not too bad of a defensive liability. That's something that I was worried about because Dame don't do defense. We all know that. But they did just combine for 65 points in a 128-119 win over the said Rockets. Like I told you, the Rockets gave the Bucks pretty much everything that they had. They're a tough team. But the biggest question is, can you imagine what this team could be if they stopped people from getting 100 points per game? Could you imagine? That team would be very scary. And Chris Middleton can be a reliable third option when he's healthy. His ability to stay healthy is a valid concern. And one thing that I do want to notice, that Dame, Mr. Lillard, and I just said that he don't play defense like that. I just said it. But he's been a little ball thief for the past, more for the Bucks than he's ever stolen anything in Portland. Maybe he just didn't want to be in Portland. And he's been shooting the ball a bit better as well. Dame is on a tear. But I like what Milwaukee's got going on. I just really would like to know, like, what would this team be if they could actually stop somebody from scoring 110 points a game? You know, I feel like could be a championship type of team if they could stop that crap. But I digress. That's neither here or there. Now, Laker talk. And y'all know how I feel about my Lakers, so excuse me. The bottom line is, the Lakers role players need to act like it. Act like you mean something. Taurean Prince is a goofball on defense. And you have some idiot over here, I don't know who said he's the best player we got on defense, or who said something around that lines. Taurean Prince is a goofball on defense. D'Angelo Russell is often injured and is just a goofball on the court, period. And as far as Anthony Davis has been catching all the flack that he's been catching for no good damn reason, we're getting good quality minutes from Anthony Davis, who has been on a tear. And now we have an ailment, which is to be expected when it comes to Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis and the word ailment should be next to each other. You know, Anthony Davis's picture should be right next to the word ailment in the dictionary. Right here. LeBron is continuing to do what he does in limited minutes. He's not playing 30 minutes a night unless he has to. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. We're not going to be that bad and that inconsistent. But I'm so sick and tired of looking at I don't know basketball. I'm tired of it. And then you have people like Reeves, Rui, Reddish, who have for the most part been doing their parts. Christian Woods is frustrating to watch, but he does play his part. He plays his role pretty well. This team is way too goddamn inconsistent for my liking. And we're too talented to be this inconsistent. I thoroughly believe we're talented. Some of these pieces have not changed from the Western Conference final run that we went on last year. This team is very talented. But it's too inconsistent. Anthony Davis, he's starting to get it together, but I'm going to need to see more of that before I can ever say Anthony Davis is out the woods. What's up, Key? But yeah, I'm like, my Lakers, they really do frustrate me. They do. Like, and it's like the talent is there. But it's like they need to start stacking quality wins. And before I even go on to this, because I'm going to pull up some of the Lakers scores. I got my laptop right in front of me. 1 second. So, the 15th, 3 days ago, you lose 129-115 to the Spurs. The 13th, you beat the Spurs by 3. Oh, yeah, he is playing like one of the best bigs in the league, but I don't think Kyle is just trolling at this point. I think we'll be a playoff team. Now, come February, if we slip, I'm going to lose half my hair might be gone. But the Lakers ain't going to do Lakers things. Anthony Davis is playing like one of the best big men in the league, and I need him to stay on that track. Then you lose by 2 to the Mavericks. These are games that are going to be important for seeding. I know there's 82 games, but you kind of don't want to lose all the games to quality opponents. And then we beat the Pacers, but that didn't count because that was the in-season tournament. You beat the crap out the Pelicans. You squeezed by the Suns. You know, I'm seeing this up here. That Arthur Smith is getting ready to start playing quarterback conundrum, tic-tac the quarterback with Heineke and Ritter. Good luck with that. Who is at the top? What team in the top 6 do I see falling out? Hold on. NBA standings. Eastern Conference or Western Conference or both? I'll do both. Okay. I'll do both. Well, because I'm looking at it currently, the Eastern Conference is 1 Celtics, 2 Bucks, 3 Sixers, 4 Magic, 5 Heat, 6 Knicks, 7 Pacers. I feel like the Pacers will win a few more games and knock the Knicks back, if we're being completely honest, because Emmanuel Quickly is getting ready to quickly get dropped off of my fantasy basketball team. Keep on, Mr. Quickly. Keep on. But, yeah, as far as the Eastern Conference is gone, I'm saying, damn. Like, I got the, Minnesota is not going to maintain that 19-5. No, it's not. Because Rudy Gobert and Karl-Anthony Towns, I haven't got to the Western Conference yet. Rudy Gobert and Karl-Anthony Towns are not going to, they're going to do dumb stuff. So there's that. You are absolutely right about that, Dante. But as far as the Eastern Conference is going, I'm saying that the Pacers are probably going to overtake the Knicks. Knicks will probably slide it back down to 7, and then the Pacers will get that 6th spot. I don't trust Minnesota. I don't trust Minnesota. Mr. No-Show will return. Exactly. French Fry will show you why he got his nickname French Fry. Like, come on now. Let's look at the West. We got the 1 Timberwolves, 2 Thunder, 3 Mavericks, 4 Nuggets, 5 Kings, 6 Clippers, 7 Pelicans. I feel like there could be a lot of shifting in this Western Conference. 1, the Timberwolves who definitely won't be number 1 for too much longer. I promise you, they won't be. Anthony Edwards is carrying that team. The Thunder, they could take a few steps back. They're still young. I feel like at the end of the... Yeah, if I'm looking at I don't know. It's really bothering me that the Pelicans are ranked ahead of the Lakers. And we're better than the Pelicans. But because the Lakers are so damn inconsistent, I'm finna get on that too. I'm getting news as I'm reading, as I'm live, but I'm gonna address that too. But because we're better than the goddamn Pelicans. Zion, skinny Zion, fat ass Zion, wide Zion, Zion Baptist Church. We're better than the goddamn Pelicans. No, they're not. Like, Minnesota, they look good now. But they look decent now. Man, I'm so sick and tired of goddamn Zion. I meant to talk about him and his weight struggles too. Because we might go for an hour 20 minutes today. Yeah, the Minnesota's not beating the Lakers. They're not beating Denver. I don't think they're going to beat the Clippers. They are front-running frauds. Minnesota is front-running frauds, so they'll definitely take a step back. I'm looking at the rankings right here. The Rockets could take a step forward. I believe my Lakers will take a step forward. The Thunder might take a little step back, and I hope that the Flippers take a step back. But I feel like there's going to be more movement in the West than there is in the East. Because we all know who the top 3 teams in the East are. Yeah, we can have this conversation. And if I'm wrong, I will gladly admit that I'm wrong. They are some front-running frauds, though. So, that's where I stand on that. What was I getting ready to talk about? Oh, Zion. And Draymond. Zion and Draymond. And DeMonte Casey from the Steelers has been banned. He's been suspended for the rest of the year. I'm going to figure out why. I might put it in my Google search right now in just a second. But he's been suspended. Anthony Edwards had to address his baby mama drama because he knocked up an Instagram star and she decides to do childish, immature things. You know how these women do. You know, how some of us act. And put all the messages on social media. So we're dealing with that. And Arthur Smith is playing the quarterback carousel. He's doing his best to get fired. I just want y'all to know that. He's doing his best. Zion. I have my notes. Hold on. Okay. For whatever reason, he is absolutely not committed to the Pelicans organization, period. And this is how I'm looking at it. Literally, all you have to do is take care of yourself and work on your game like he's been going on the rip. But at the same time, it's just because people been ripping into his ass for the past week. I promise you that. He will slow back down. He's not committed. He's trying to buy in. Try a little harder, because you've been in the league for 3 to 4 years and you haven't tried nearly as hard enough to stay on a goddamn court. His weight. Every year, everybody has a goddamn dissertation, a correct one, about his weight being an issue. And clearly, he's not listening to us. He's not listening to people who has his best interest at heart. And he's damn sure not listening to the Pelicans. For that matter. You've been in the league for 4 years and you've barely played a season's worth of games. That is pathetic. Due to injuries and a longer healing time. Why does it take you so long to heal? Because you're overweight and out of shape, you damn dumbass. Ooh. Zion is a trigger. Zion is a trigger because he had so much potential. He has so much potential. He's so talented. He's so explosive. But his weight, he won't stop eating it. He's on a seafood diet. He's seafood and he eat it. Like, you're having an up and down year, but you're not in shape. I should not see a beer belly at a free throw line. I'm tired of seeing him bounce and jiggle everywhere every time he shoot the fucking ball. You're out of shape. You won't get into shape. You don't want to eat anything that's good for you. And it's to the point where most people are ready to call Zion a bust. I can be looped. I'm done with Zion. Clearly, I'm done with Zion. And an abject failure. All you have to do is take care of yourself. All you have to do is put yourself on a diet. I know the food in New Orleans is delicious. I work at a seafood restaurant that specializes in kind of like New Orleans style stuff like that. So I know that kind of stuff is good. It is. He better spit it out. I mean, all you have to do is take care of himself. Train like somebody that's a professional athlete would. Eat like a professional athlete. You have these moments where you really do shine, put on a show, but because of him being in Zion, I'm going to pronounce the word correctly. Lackadaisical. And not wanting it bad enough, he hinders himself. It's lackadaisical, Zion. Not whatever the hell you said that day. The potential is still there, but it is fading away fast. And he needs to stay out of his own way. That's the problem. Draymond. Here's my thing. I think the 76ers can be legit. I think they are. They can be. Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris. Well, yeah. Tyrese Maxey, not Harris. You know, the Pistons want to go get Tobias Harris. Like, what the hell is that going to fix? Absolutely nothing. But, you know, just like the Pistons want to trade Bogdanovich, whatever him, for first round picks, and I'm like, yeah, they on that good stuff in Detroit. Anyway, Draymond Green, and then I'm going to get out of here. My thing about the Draymond Green thing, right? The indefinite part of the suspension, I think, is a little overkill. Listen to my reasoning. I know that they put history. Considering if we're just going off the offense, not the history, an indefinite suspension was not worth that. Complete and the intent. If they wanted to give him an indefinite suspension, suspension, He should have got it for choking Rudy Gobert out. Not for this. Not an incidental contact where he was flailing trying to sell a call. I understand. But this is exactly what happens when you lose the benefit of the doubt, if we are being honest. And my thing about the counseling. What is counseling going to do at this point? He's a line stepper. He is very cognizant of exactly what he's doing. You can't be a basketball player and not be cognizant of what you're doing when you're flailing and trying to sell a call. He knew exactly what he's doing by doing all of this extra stuff. Like, this time maybe I might have a little sympathy for him this time, but you know what you're doing. If you know that you're trying to sell a call, and you're going to flail, at least try to do a little half check and then sell something. Like, don't just, you know what? He got an indefinite suspension. He's probably going to be gone for about a month. We're going to be completely honest there. He's probably going to be gone for about a month. But Draymond, it's to the point where you got Steve Kerr saying that you got to change in the media. You've got to sit around. You've got to rein it on in. And I know it's hard for a grown-ass man to change. You've got to rein it in. Just rein it in. But, that's all from me today. If you like what you heard, if you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, share the video. I'll have another audio episode out probably today. But if you are on Sports Empire Network on the YouTube and on the Facebook, check me out at 6 o'clock. I'll be on Cheap Seats today. And I will see y'all next week. Follow me on social media for more. My TikTok is Jory Denise, JORIDENESE. I'm working on getting some more TikTok content up. My Instagram is, thank you. My Instagram is JDS_sports stories. And my Twitter or X is Jory Stories. I will see y'all next time. If you listen to podcasts, go listen to Jory Sports Stories. I'll have a whole nother, like on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon. I'll have another episode out on there. Pretty much everything I spoke here, I'm going to be talking about there. But that'll be later on today. And you guys enjoy the rest of your day.